Alrighty, so for my 5 minutes of practicing scales, I'm going to do a D major scale, and I'm going to play the scale with my left hand and do ostinato in the right hand because I'm really terrible at scales in the left hand, so I want to improve on that. And I got my fingering chart with me, just in case I need it. So I'm going to start at a tempo of 60, and once I feel comfortable with the scale and play the correct fingerings, I'm going to keep raising the tempo. So we will start at 60 in D major. Start up here. 1, 2, 3. We'll raise it by 5s. Okay. 1, 2. I really just want to work on getting the fluency in my left hand and making it move more because I find that I'm really bad at doing that. So this is good practice for me. Okay, up to 7. 1. so my next step with that is that I would work on doing the scales with the left hand but not looking down, because I feel like that's the only way I can do it right now. So the next step would be look up and not look at my fingers when I play the scale with my left hand. So for my 10 minutes of practice, I'm going to work on my repertoire piece. And for now, I'm going to focus on measures, about the first 16 measures. And what I want to get through with this is the way I have been practicing is not with the correct fingerings. So I really want to nail that in this next 10 minutes. And then also, the bass has something that goes kind of like, and it's just octave jumps. And what I want to do with that is to just make it sound like a bassoon and like kind of jumpy rather than just like slamming down on the keys. So I'm going to work on that with the first like 16 or so measures because that has the same motive. And then if I feel completely comfortable with that and have the correct fingerings, then I'll move on to the next portion. But for right now, what I want to get done is correct fingerings and do that with the bass. So also maybe try and add a little bit of dynamics. I said in my last video that I wanted to make it like 4-bar phrases, so that can also be something that I work on. I also need to work on doing pedal more. So we're going to try and get to that all within this next 10 minutes. So. Okay, so I feel like I got a little bit of this going on, but I most definitely did not do the right fingerings. So just with the right hand. Okay, and that's the same thing for the next 4 measures, so let's try that again with the right hand. So 5, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. Try that one more time without singing. And you get down to that E. It's weird going and then putting the 4 right next to that with this middle finger up. So I'm going to have to get used to that. So I'm going to take it really, really slow this time and just try doing it with both hands. Okay, that was good. Slow. Let's do it slow one more time. Awesome. Pick that up a little bit. having issues going from, so let's try this. Just gotta make sure I'm hitting the right note, so. I realized I was starting an octave too high. I'll do that again. We're gonna try to do it one more time with the correct fingerings. Okay. That time with the correct fingerings. Okay, now we're gonna put those 4 bars together. It's just repeats. We'll try that. So that's that part, and then it moves on to the same thing, just transposed. That was the correct fingers. So I'm going to put those 8 bars together one more time, and then we will move on. The main thing that I wanted to get done for the first 8 bars is to just get really comfortable with the fingerings in the right hand. So I feel like I accomplished that, and now it's just making sure I hit every note, which is important. So I'm going to move on to this next part where it's just down a little bit, and also work on the fingerings with that part. So I'm just going to do the right hand for right now. So it's the same thing with the left hand, and this also going. So just that kind of like, think of it like a bassoon in a band, just like a little bit of jumpy leapiness. So I did not have the right one more time just to solidify it. Great. Okay, so moving forward, I need to really focus on practicing with the correct fingerings each time, otherwise I'm going to get in the habit of not playing correctly. So then I didn't get to the next 8 bars like I wanted to, but that will be my next step. There's also finger markings for that, which make a lot of sense, and I think that's what I was doing before. So my next step is going to be to work on the next 8 bars, and the rest of the song kind of repeats itself. So then after I make sure I get the right fingerings, it's really time to focus on using the pedal and making sure I get the 4-bar phrasings of dynamics like I want to. So personally, I think this piece is coming together really nicely for me. It's mostly just working on the fingerings now, which I need to start paying more attention to. And I think this should be great. There's only a few dynamic markings in here, so I'm going to mark it up a lot and put my own dynamics in here in those 4-bar phrases. So that is my next step moving forward. Thanks.